Stop there! Present your travel permits.
Sorry, but we really gotta get to Narukami Island. It's kinda urgent.
If you don't have a travel permit, this is as...
As expected. Traveler, you gotta think of something. How do we get out of Rito? Are you saying we should go and meet with the Kanjo Commissioner? Guess it can't hurt to try. Even if Paimon has a few choice words to say about him. Who knows? Maybe he's our biggest fan.
Halt! This is the Kanjo Commissioner's office. No trespassers.
We're here to see...
The Kanjo Commissioner seldom entertains outlanders. Leave now or we'll...
Ah, wait.
Oh, Commissioner!
These two are honored guests from afar. No need to give them the usual spiel. Come on in. Let's see what we can do.
My sincere
I am Hiragi Shinsuke, Kanjo Commissioner and head of the Hiragi clan. It's an honor to meet you both.
Nice to meet you, sir. So, the reason we wanted to come and see you was because...
All right, all in good time.
So what you're...
Absolutely. How many other people in the world have what it takes?
Exactly!
And I hear you also foiled the Tui plot in...
Whoa, you heard about that? Something wrong?
No. I'm simply awestruck by you both is all. Rito is greatly honored to have... One other thing I heard about you is your great...
Oh, sure, no problem. Whatever you need, right?
Excellent. Oh, you must know the Chinchin. A flower grows on the mountain.
Yep, we've picked a few of them.
Yes, bring me 300 chins.
Did Paimon hear that wrong?
Too much. Then how about this?
That sounds much more like...
700.
Hey, what gives?
Terribly sorry. We're just a little short on people lately.
What sort of an explanation is that? Traveler, what are we going to do? Should we really help this guy?
That's the spirit. Don't...
You seriously consider taking this job? The terms are ridiculous!
Halt, you two!
Huh? What are we...
Miss Hiragi has a letter for you. She insists you...
A letter? So this means she wants you to secretly meet her at night? But you didn't seem surprised at all by this. What's going on? Paimon knew something just didn't seem right about him.
You finally arrived. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Hiragi Chisato. This is technically the second time we have met. It's a pleasure to see you again.
Wow. She's the daughter of the Hiragi clan, all right.
No need to be so formal. I've long marveled at your accomplishments, and at last we have the chance to meet.
Is it Paimon, or does something seem a bit off here?
The reason why I wanted to secretly meet you here is, well, I feared that I might never have another opportunity to discuss this with you.
Discuss what?
Ahem. I should like to ask for your help with delivering a letter.
Like father, like daughter. Couldn't you be more original?
No, you misunderstand me. Please, allow me to explain. I was hoping that you could deliver a letter to Narukami. My father has always forbidden me from communicating with him. He knows that there are prospects for my marriage that would better serve him politically. But my heart is with Kamaji. There is no one who would dare defy my father's will on Rito, but you are Outlanders. Outlanders seeking to get to Narukami Island. It would be regrettable to let such an opportunity pass.
Oh, Paimon gets the whole picture now.
Of course, in doing so, I will also do everything in my power to help you leave Rito. That is my promise. To be perfectly honest, as long as you remain in Inazuma, my father will have no intention of letting you leave Rito.
Yeah, we figured as much. It was pretty obvious he was just trying to hold us up here.
I secretly overheard a conversation between my father and a very arrogant-sounding woman just a few days ago. They seemed to be discussing how to keep you here on Rito. In fact, it was the first time I had ever heard my father speak so respectfully to someone who wasn't the shogun. We don't have much time. I'll tell you my plans to help you off the island. It just so happens that a shipment of goods is... Very well. I'll be waiting for you at the border. I'm counting on you to deliver my letter. Hold on, please. These goods are being sent to Watatsumi Island?
My lady, this is an unexpected honor. You are correct. These goods have been repeatedly requested by the Kanjo Commissioner. We must be certain that they reach Watatsumi Island intact.
Is there something wrong, Lady Hiragi?
No, as you were. My father simply has some concerns of the shipment's safety, and has ordered that myself and an additional qualified escort be dispatched to ensure safe transport of the goods.
My lady, you aren't suggesting that you intend to escort this shipment personally, are you?
Please, do not cause us any further delay. If memory serves me right, my father has already asserted that this shipment must arrive on time. I'm certain punishment will be duly dispensed if it fails to do so.
Yes, of course, my lady. It's just that, well, we don't know who this...
Now, need I remind you of the penalty if anything were to happen to me en route? I'm sure you are all quite familiar with my father's temperament. Do you really presume that you can fully guarantee my safety on your own?
Boy, Chisato can talk the talk. They don't stand a chance.
Yes, my lady. Very well then. It's an honor to have you accompanying us. Your safety is our highest priority.
Shinojo, you can't really be agreeing to this.
Well, the request is from Lady Hiragi herself. It is our duty to serve her in the utmost capacity.
Yes, but that's not the problem here.
Well then, if we're through here, I suggest we set off at once. Dawdling will only allow potential thieves more time to prepare, no?
Yes, my lady. You heard her. There's no time to lose.
My lady, please stay back. We'll handle it.
Not as well as we'll handle it.
Get here! Retribution! It's my lucky day. Monster sighted. Prepare to counterattack. Protect Lady Hiragi at all costs.
We'll take care of this. Still Chisato.
Got it! We can take refuge in the village up ahead. How are you faring, my lady?
I'm perfectly all right. You may stop here. The road to Narukami Island is just over there. In my letter, I've requested Kamaji to grant you a special travel permit from the Tenryou Commission. Consider it a...
My lady.
So that's how it is. I had a feeling something was amiss, but Shinojo, you...
No, Lady Hiragi would never hide anything from us, I'm sure of it. But who is this Kamaji you speak of, my lady?
I'm not afraid to say that he's the one I love.
The one you love?
Shinojo, did you honestly think that...
What? No, I was just clarifying, that's all. I would never in my wildest dreams,
You two needn't worry. Please, forget that this ever happened. If my father catches word of it, I alone will be held accountable.
Yes, of course. As you wish, my lady.
But what will happen if your actions here are discovered, Chisato?
Don't fret. My father has always been one to spoil me. The worst he'd do is sentence me to half a day without food, or something to that effect.
Huh. Paimon never suspected a guy like him could have a soft side.
I wish you a safe journey. I'm sure we will meet again.
Bye, Chisato!
Come now. Quit your staring and let's get moving. We've got goods to shift.
We're finally on our own way again! I suppose it's time we find Toma. Now, where did he say he would meet us again? Oh, right! Komori Tea House! According to the letter, this should be the place.
Sorry, we don't serve the general public. I'm afraid you'll have to leave.
Wait! We're not the general public.
Well then, you must be a couple of wandering outlanders that snuck into the nation, judging by your attire.
Are our clothes really so...
The Yashiro Commission's seal. This must be from Mr. Toma. It seems there's more to you than meets the eye. In which case, welcome to the Komore Tea House, a safe haven for the Yashiro Commission.
Well, that sounds more like it. don't see him anywhere. Do you think he forgot his promise to meet us?
Who forgot their promise? I was beginning to think you'd forgotten about me.
What? Is that dog talking to us?
Relax, no need to look so surprised. I take it this is the first time you've seen me in this form? Huh. So you didn't see anything like this when you were in Liyue Harbor?
Ah, now that you mention it, this does suddenly seem less out of the ordinary.
All right. I've had my fun.
Hey, you're this close to getting an ugly nickname, mister.
Well, I've had some time to kill, given that I've been waiting here for you for so long, as was the case in Rito. So I came up with this little fun greeting for when you arrived. But in all seriousness, I would like to apologize about that little test you went through earlier, though it was quite necessary. It helped us determine whether or not to bring you before Miss Kamisato, and whether you had the courage to face the lightning alongside us.
Don't think that Paimon's gonna forgive you just because you're getting all serious now.
Sorry, did I overdo it? My apologies. Let me just say this. You've often found yourself skirting the rules from the very beginning, haven't you? Naturally, this is due to your unwavering and resolute. A long time ago, we had a friend who was much the same. But when the lightning struck... Ah, so you've heard of his story. His light still burns all the more brightly. Yes, of course. I will bring you to the Kamisato residence where the Yashiro Commission is located. But before that, there is one other place I was hoping you both would accompany me to.
Oh? Where?
I would like you to come with me to the statue of the omnipresent god. It's still under construction now, but you can already...
This area sure feels gloomy. People probably don't come here often, do they? Huh? Are Paimon's eyes playing tricks? Or are there things embedded in the statue?
Visions.
Visions? You mean all the visions that are collected from the Vision Hunt decree are put into this statue?
So you've already heard of the Vision Hunt decree. Before I try to explain, I should perhaps remind you first that Mondstadt is the city of freedom, and Liyue is the city of contracts. As for Inazuma, it's known as the Nation of Eternity. The Raiden Shogun is both the nation's most powerful ruler and its deity. The Eternity in question is her endless and unchanging will to rule over. As such, she relies on the Tri-Commission to regulate the nation's affairs, and the Shogun wishes to keep Inazuma in stasis, allowing the stream of time to flow from one end to the other without disturbing it, for all time.
Seems like every god has their own will.
Of course, this is my own limited understanding. As for perhaps the Shogun believes that visions grant people the power to change, and that her eternity doesn't allow for such instability to exist. Whatever the case, the fact is that the Raiden Shogun has dispatched the Tenryo Commission to scour the nation for visions, embedding each one in this statue. And this statue of the omnipresent god can be seen as Inazuma's symbol of eternity.
But if that's the case, what?
Only outlanders such as yourselves would ever and yet, I agree. The Vision Hunt Decree is something that simply should not exist. And Miss...
Huh? Hey, are you okay? You look like you...
Sound? What sound?
Yeah, you touched the statue, and then... And then what?
Aspirations? Have you heard it before? That when a person's ambition reaches, that is where visions come from. In other words, a person's vision represents their So if what you just said is true, then the ambitions of these people are stronger than I imagined. All right, time for the next stop on our tour of Narukami Island, the Kamisato residence.
Finally! So, this is the kind of place where the big shots of Inazuma live, huh? Paimon kinda expected it to be... snazzier.
Welcome at last to the Kamisato residence, honored guests. Miss Kamisato is delighted to finally meet you.
Is this the Shirasage Himegimi you keep going on about? So, where's she at? Oh, behind the screen?
Yes. As the daughter of the Yashiro Commission, this is how Miss Kamisato is accustomed to receiving guests. Consider it a time-honored tradition within the Yashiro Commission. Forgive me.
Makes sense. She's a super important person after all.
Please forgive my lack of courtesy for receiving you in this fashion, especially following such a long and wearisome journey over the sea. I have awaited your arrival with great anticipation, and Toma assures me that you do indeed possess the power to change the tide of the times. At present in Inazuma, in the name of the Vision Hunt Decree, the people's aspirations are being senselessly trampled underfoot. Though the Yashiro Commission serves the Shogun, it is the people with whom we share close bonds, given the contact we are required to have with them in the performance of our duties. A commission's power rises and falls with the trust of their people. Thus, traveler, lend us your power, and we can... Oh.
See, milady, it's just like I said. This will...
No, please! Wait! I will introduce you to the Raiden Shogun on one condition.
What are your wishes?
They pertain to 3 whose visions were taken from them.
a warrior who guards a village, a former samurai who helped carry out the Vision Hunt decree, and a swordmaster determined to become the best in the world. Does Paimon...
Correct. Please do all you can to help them. I will await your return here. Then you have my gratitude.
I'm sure you'll do great.
Let's see. Where's the person Ayaka told us about?
Why are you doing this? Why leave?
Precisely. It's much too sudden. The children are desperate for you to take them out.
That must be the guy Ayaka told us about.
Ah, you must also be... Teijima has protected this place, keeping out the treasure hoarders, fending off any monsters that draw near. But now, all of a sudden, we will gladly apologize if that's the case.
If you want my opinion, it's clear that Teijima I can't claim to fully, and truth be told, we aren't sure whether...
Seems like he's a well-respected guy or... You must be Teijima. So what's...
Me? It's not a question of why I want to leave, but a question... True. And what made me want to come here 30 years ago? I don't have answers to those questions, because I can't remember any. In the past, I knew I wanted to...
Okay. Well, in that case, if we help you... But if you can't remember anything, it's not gonna be easy. Oh! Maybe if you just try a little harder to remember...
Oh, that reminds me.
I keep a...
Oh, yes, you do. And...
Perfect! So if we want to keep Teijima from leaving...
If you don't mind, we will leave you to find the dad.
This looks like Teijima's dad. Let's see what we have. Today, the villagers and I got together to cook dry braised salted fish. Today, I helped rescue a kid. I went kite flying today. The string broke, so I chased after it as seems like... Huh? I went to pray at the shrine again today, and stayed there a while. The Omamori you gave me has faded a little, but it is still my most treasured possession. Now that's the kind of info we're looking for! Time to pay a visit to the shrine! So this is the Omamori Teijima wrote about. Interesting. Looking at the... But anyway, if he had this with him all the time... The soil looks like it's been disturbed. Must be something pretty amazing if it made him stick around. It looks like... Konda Village. Sounds so familiar. Where is that place again? But he's been here for 30... Well, let's go...
I'll be at certain... But I have still. It's clear. Over the years, I must have made a note of anything interesting. And just look, how could I have forgotten something so important to me? Love? Regret? No. After all, I've forgotten who she was. It's as if she'd never been in my life to begin with. As if... I think... Although... What if she were to turn up eventually? Only to find I didn't remember so much as her name. When I think about it like that, how curious. Why am I thinking like this when I don't even remember who she is? It's just like that feeling of emptiness. Thank you both for helping me reconnect with my reason for staying here. I shall remain here and keep waiting for her.
Tejima seems to be dealing okay, but seems it's just like Ayaka and Toma were saying. If you lose your vision, you lose all your hopes and dreams too. That certainly explains the state Tejima was in earlier. At least we were able to help him, weren't we? Well, let's go find the next person. According to Miss Kamisato, the second one who lost their vision is a samurai from the Tenryou Commission. They say the Tenryou Commission is directly controlled by the Shogun. They're the ones responsible for maintaining law and order in Inazuma, the ones actually enforcing the Vision Hunt decree. But why would they take action against one of their own? Paimon doesn't get it. Huh? There seems to be some commotion over there. Let's go see what's happening.
I'll ask one more time. Do you intend to withhold this month's emergency provisions?
The entire clan is counting on that food. We demand an explanation.
How many times do I have to say it? I don't know anything about emergency provisions.
You dare deceive us? Those provisions are essential. Do you understand? Not some goods to be pocketed by greedy samurai.
You samurai think you can just do whatever you please? The Tenryou Commission will hear of this!
Oh, huh? And who are you? One of Kurosawa's gang, no doubt.
What? We just happened to be passing by. We heard the commotion and came to see what the matter was.
I see. You seem to have come just at the right time. Perhaps you can help us settle this matter. This is Kurosawa. He's a samurai and a member of the Shogun's army. They issue emergency provisions to the area, and he's the one responsible for distribution. In the past, we'd simply ask him for provisions and everything would be delivered. Now, he suddenly refuses to give us anything. He's keeping the provisions for himself, I just know it. We'll starve without them.
No one seems to care about us. We used to think Kurosawa was a kind man, but he's shown his true colors. He's the same as all the other samurai. It's no wonder all the visions have been confiscated. The Raiden Shogun doesn't need people like him helping her rule the nation.
This must be one of the people Ayaka asked us to help. But why would she ever want us to help someone like him? Maybe we should talk to Kurosawa and see what he has to say.
I've never even heard of these emergency provisions. I don't know whether it's rumors or whether they're trying to blackmail me. But either way, it's ridiculous. If I was hoarding supplies, would I still be the poor man I am today? My own family can barely get by as it is. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got other matters to attend to. And that's the first bit of truth I've heard all day. The Shogun's army told me that I was unworthy of my vision. And they said I was slacking off in my work. Apparently, I'd even disappointed the Raiden Shogun. And that's why they confiscated my vision.
Well, that's strange. You were helping enforce the Vision Hunt Decree. Why would you be unworthy of your vision?
To be perfectly honest, I don't seem to remember the details. All I know is that I would perform certain things every month. But I don't recall what they were. And it's not just that. I have this unsettling feeling, like someone owes me something.
Does it have to do with the missing emergency provisions?
I didn't take any. Like I said, if I was taking them for myself, I wouldn't be going through such hard times right now. To top it all off, my house was just raided by treasure hoarders, which is why I came here in the first place. I was chasing after them when I got held up by these two. If you don't believe me, go find the treasure hoarders yourself. If there were any emergency provisions to be had, they would have found them.
Huh. He seems to be telling the truth. But we better confirm. Let's go. We should be able to follow their tracks. They couldn't have gone too far.
Take this! Let's light it up! Lightning flash! Cool it! We really outdid ourselves this time. All those samurai houses packed with goods. We really hit the jackpot. I mean, you haven't seen anything yet. There'll be a lot more where this came from. Today's just the beginning. I'll be leading you all on an epic journey of pillage and plunder that will go down in hoarder history. You the man, boss.
These seem like the treasure hoarders we're after. Let's teach them a lesson.
Treasure.
Animal hypostasis simulation. Animal testing. Everybody stand back.
Take this!
Oh, there goes all the Mora. We worked hard to steal that, you know? Come on, boss. Think of something.
Not bad, kid. You ever think of joining the treasure hoarders? We could use someone like you. Kurosawa. Oh, I remember. So he's the one who sent you after us, huh? Just our luck. I knew he shouldn't have hit that place.
So what did you see inside? Was it stuffed with food supplies?
Food supplies? You kidding? That place was a complete mess. All we found was a strange-looking box, hopefully with valuables inside. I didn't want anyone else to see it, so I was planning on opening it myself once we got back. But now that you've caught us, how about we make a deal? That little box for our freedom. What do you say?
You've got a deal. Now show us what's in the box.
Huh?
What the?
There's nothing in here but IOUs!
Yeah, a lot of them too. And they all seem to be made out to the owner of a general goods store, a Miss Aoi. We're talking tons of Mora here. We better talk to this Miss Aoi and get to the bottom of this. As for you guys, you're free to go. Just...
Yes. So, we redeemed ourselves for some IOUs. Does that mean we broke even?
Shut it.
Welcome to Tsukumomono Groceries. We've got everything you need. Can I help you? Or perhaps there's... Ah, so you're friends of Kurosawa, I take it? Perhaps you're here...
Whoa, whoa! Let's not get ahead of ourselves. We're just here to learn where they all came from. How did Kurosawa end up owing you so much money? Did he buy anything super expensive here?
Let me think. Kurosawa would come regularly to purchase large quantities of foodstuffs. He'd always put the payment on his own account. However, the price of provisions began to skyrocket recently, and his salary was no longer enough to cover the cost. So, he started writing out IOUs to cover whatever...
So that's how he was getting those emergency provisions. But why did he have to purchase a usual amount? If the prices increased, couldn't he just buy less?
Well, if you think about it, the citizens receiving the emergency provisions must have been carefully calculating how much they needed to sustain them each time. Kurosawa thought that it would be quite the disappointment for them if they found they didn't have enough, especially after such long and careful planning. So he deemed it necessary to take on the debt rather than let the people down.
Wow. Kurosawa, and no one ever appreciated what he did?
People's attitudes will always reflect their circumstances. In the face of hardship, nobody cares to think twice. If you ask me, had Kurosawa told everyone the truth about the supplies from the start, of course, I'm sure there would still have been some unrest. What he was doing was truly a thankless deed. As for why he chose to spend his own money on emergency provisions and never tell anyone, I'm still not too clear myself. If you're still curious, why don't you go ask him yourself? I see. That reminds me, it seems that his vision was recently confiscated. Most unfortunate. If he doesn't clear the debt on his name, he'll have no choice but to sell that sword that is so dear to him.
Sword? What?
Oh, didn't he tell you? I've asked him about its origins. He told me that it was a gift from his father. In hindsight, I regret that I never made an offer. Why don't you ask him about the sword yourself? Perhaps it'll even provide you with the answers you're looking for. Oh, but before you go...
But we did...
Information is all... Don't worry. I won't charge much for information about Kurosawa.
At least we now know where the emergency provisions were coming from. Let's go talk to Kurosawa again. What are you doing here all by...
I presented them with a choice. Either they left or it turned out to be a real time saver, actually. Did you manage to track down the treasure hoarders?
That just about sums it up. It turns out that you really were
Strange. Is that really the kind of person I was? I don't really have any such recollection. Even after all you've told me, I still don't remember anything. Why was I purchasing emergency provisions for everyone? And why would I put myself in such a difficult situation? I really don't understand. But I cannot deny that when I brandished my sword to scare those two away, I could sense that my body was somehow reluctant to do so. This sword was once wielded by my father. I remember once when I was young, I wanted to sneak out with the blade and show it off to the kids next door. My father ended up catching me in the act and scolded me severely. What did he say? I can't seem to remember that either. It would seem that I forgot many important things when my vision was taken from me. So many memories gone. All I can remember now is my father telling me and said to me,
Hey, if you look carefully, can you recognize the words?
virtue and justice. Somehow those two words seem taking on seemingly endless debts to make others. But what use are virtue and justice? The Tenryo Commission seized my vision. And the very people I was so... And the irony of all of it is, I'm incapable of being a good person.
Yet another trouble. When we get the chance, let's speak to Toma about Kurosawa's debt. In any case, we must never let him sell off that sword. Yeah, seems like losing. Fortunately for us, you don't have a vision. Let's go find the next poor soul. The third person who had their vision taken is supposed to be a famous sword master around these parts. Paimon heard that he's the present-day master of Meikyo Shisui art. Sounds pretty impressive. This is his dojo. Luckily, there's some people around. Let's go talk to them.
Nanako, don't worry. Sensei will be fine. Those thugs that challenged the dojo were strong, but he fought them all off in the end, didn't he?
Maybe, but I'm still worried about him. Things have gotten dangerous before in the past, but it's never shaken him. This time, though...
It's just because he's been possessed, that's all.
Hey there! Did some...
Who are you? I don't care whether you're trespassers or just here to harass us while Sensei is... Don't make me draw my blade, or you won't live to regret it.
No! You got it so wrong! We just came here to...
Disciples?
Yep. We've heard all about the mighty master of... But then we got here and over...
From the way you're dressed, please, accept my apologies. You haven't arrived at the best of times, I'm afraid. Sensei got possessed recently. I see you are earnest in your pursuit. Okay, Sensei's name is Domon. A name I'm sure you've already heard. Though self-taught, he mastered the art of the sword to a high level. He once said that his goal was to become the best sword. And so, even while... But then...
Not long ago, Sensei had his vision taken away. He hasn't been the same since. He says the strangest things over. Junya and I have discussed it, and we both think... But if I'm honest, I still have my doubts over whether he'll complete...
The Grand Narukami Shrine?
You haven't heard of it? It's the largest shrine on Narukami Island. The head shrine maiden is reputed to have very close ties with the almighty shogun herself. Not that we'd have any means of involving the head shrine maiden, of course. But even one of the ordinary shrine maidens from the Grand Narukami... So don't worry, Nanako. The exorcism will take place this evening.
So, losing your vision can co...
Shh. So you decided to come. Just now, when Nanako was attending, when she asked him who the people were, he suddenly looked panic-stricken. It looked like he was in great distress. He was covered. All the while he kept calling those names. Some of them we knew. One of them was Anzai. He used to be a fellow disciple of Sensei's. His senior, in fact. But Sensei wouldn't stop calling his name. The ritual has now begun. Please, excuse me for a moment while I fetch...
How did you catch up with me so quickly? Are you sure you're Domon's disciples? You move even quicker than he does. Unless... I guess it's been a few years. Maybe his skills have improved again.
Excuse me? We're the ones asking the questions here. First off, who are you? And what are you doing sneaking around these parts? You seem like...
Bad news? I'll have you know I trained side by side with Do. I don't care to talk about that time anymore. But if you must know, I am Domon's...
His senior?
Anzai. Yes, that's because I don't wish to see Domon or anyone else associated with him. When we were young, we trained under the same swordman. I had begun training 5 years before him, and everyone looked up to me as a steady and dependable. Practitioners of Make-Yoshi Sui art seek to achieve stillness of mind, freedom from all. But Domon was different. The first thing he did when he joined was go straight to our sensei and ask him, with a... Sensei scolded him and told him that the art of the sword should not be used for such vain ends. I thought so too at the time, but Domon began making swift progress in his training and even started catching up with me. Only then did I realize that it was Domon who had long since He was consumed by his singular desire to become the best.
Sure sounds like he meant business.
Because until he arrived, I was convinced that I would succeed. Of all the disciples, I was the most gifted. Domon's arrival changed everything. Later, I heard that he sparked. After that, I wanted nothing for... So, when I decided to quietly come and see if it were true. Then, to my complete astonishment, I heard him call. So you see, I came here not to cause him any harm. Okay, you've heard my story.
Seems like we got it wrong, Vis. Still, Paimon's not sure we should bring him back with us. Let's go see how the exorcism's coming along.
You're saying he isn't possessed? Does that mean he's just lost his mind? But how is that possible?
Nanako.
I am sorry. With what powers I have, I can find no sign of any malignant spirit having possessed. But spirits may take a myriad of forms in this world, many of which I cannot claim to have witnessed myself. And all is certainly not lost. For I received word not long ago that Lady Yai has taken an interest in your...
Lady Yai? Is that...
The head shrine maiden of the Grand Narukami Shrine?
Correct. Lady Yai is most knowledgeable indeed, and has abundant experience in the exorcism of evil spirits, and I am unable to say for certain whether an evil spirit has possessed...
Excuse me, Miss Inagi.
That won't be necessary. All that is required of you is your timely arrival. I must leave now, but we will meet soon at the shrine. I wish to...
Who'd have thought Lady Yai herself...
Do you mean to say that Sensei isn't renowned enough to deserve
No, that's not what I meant at all. I just mean this is Lady Yai, the head... Anyway, given that you've traveled all this way just to meet...
Sure! After all, everyone... Who knows? Maybe we'll be able to find... Lady Ai? Oh, no wonder Junyo is so excited. She has a really striking presence. Also, is it just Paimon? Or did she look right at us just now? It was probably nothing. It's not like she's ever seen us before.
Keep away. Keep away from me. I gave up the art of the sword. Please, let me go, I beg you.
As you can see, Lady Yai, Domon has persisted in this state for some time now. He appears to see those who have lost to him in duels past, gathered all around him to persecute him.
Lady Yai, it must be a possession, right? This is nothing like him at all. In the past, no matter what came his way, he would always face it with a confident smile.
I'm sorry. It is clear to me that your sensei is not possessed by any evil spirit.
But then does that mean he...
Yes. This is a change in the person himself. Unable to cope with the tremendous pressure he was under, he suffered a spiritual collapse. With his wits impaired, he finally descended into madness. As one who is thrown into the sea, though he fights back desperately against his predicament. As for what has triggered this change, I believe it must be the loss of his vision.
Stripped of his ambition? But Lady Yai, even without his
Your school practices make you stillness of mind, freedom from all agitation. There was once one who claimed to be indifferent to rank and reward, and who fled enraged when defeated by his junior. Then, what of the one who crossed blades with his own sensei and
Lady Yai, I'm not...
The path of... It requires one to take their sword firmly. Only a deep commitment to his ambition to become the best made it possible for him to rise above the pain of these encounters, to focus on the way ahead. When that ambition disappeared, he began to doubt himself. As he battled his growing anxiety, he slowly descended into the state you see him in now. Much like a certain fatally flawed friend of mine.
Poor sensei. To think he's been suffering so greatly.
I'm sorry. It's all my fault. Father.
That's enough.
Huh? Isn't that Ansai? Did he follow us the whole way here?
Ansai? Why are there two of you? You're here for revenge, aren't you?
You're right to assume that my feelings towards you. It's been so long now that I made peace with it years ago. You did nothing wrong that day. I don't think most of the people you beat... Now I know that we can't place our hopes in you any longer, since you've been stripped of your ambitions too. But that is no reason to strip them of theirs. Follow the way of the sword all the way to the highest peak. You taught them that, didn't you?
But what if one day, the same thing happens to them? I put everything I had into trying to become the best. But what if it was all a huge mistake right from the start? If there's a chance they'll end up like me one day, I'd rather they stay where they are now than go any further down this path.
Have you asked them what they think?
Sensei, after you rescued me from the hands of the pirates, I told myself I would follow in your footsteps for the rest of my days. I can't know whether I will suffer in my future as you do now. All I know is that here and now, in the present, I wish to continue. I want to keep going until the day that I can stand before everyone with my head held high and announce that I, like my sensei Domon before me, am a master of Meikyo Shisui art.
Nanako's far from the only one. Actually, all of us think that way.
You see? You can being stripped of your ambition is something that's never happened. So, just as I once... You are not in the same position that I was. When I
understand. I'm sorry to have made you worry for me. I no longer have the resolve, but as your sensei, This is my promise.
You can count on, but, well...
So even though his ambition was taken away...
Traveler, a moment, please. Lady Yai has some words for you.
So, my intuition... The wind that blows from afar carries fresh life to these shores. For us to meet now is premature. Nevertheless, you set foot on these islands at precisely the right moment. I have high hopes for you, child.
Ooh, Lady Eyes! She seems super mysterious. Guess who fulfilled all your wishes? Huh? Ayaka! Huh?
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 Traveler, Paimon, it is a pleasure. I have heard all about how you helped our three friends. My sincerest thanks to you.
Yeah, short of getting them their visions back, it's, Ayaka, how
Because now that you have done the three things I asked of you...
Wait a second, but isn't
Oh, Paimon, you are most entertaining. Toma is first and foremost my friend, and was so before he ever became my attendant.
Oh, okay then. Ayaka, you seem pretty different out in the open compared to how you are behind the screen.
Back to the matter at hand. You have now witnessed the pain of those deprived of their vision. Perhaps in the eyes of a deity such as the thunder's roar, lightning's flash, the wind's assault, and the rain's descent. Oh, but I believe that surely you understand what they... It seems that perhaps now you can appreciate my... You will? Really? Naturally.
All right, bravo, my lady.
See? I told you he wouldn't reject them. Now then, given that the remainder of our discussion pertains to matters...
Well, here we are again.
Please continue without me. I'll keep walking.
So, what's the deal with this place anyway? What makes it your favorite meeting spot?
This is land that was gifted to the Yashiro Commission by the Shogun. The Kamisato clan has the exclusive right to plan, build, and repair any property on this land, and even to allow or deny access. Such privileges exist due to the Yashiro Commission's role in managing ceremonial affairs. Oftentimes, it is not appropriate to discuss details in front of bystanders.
Oh, Paimon gets it! Gotta keep a bit of mystery, right?
Once the number of ceremonial affairs conducted in the city began to decline, our forebears built a tea house here. Only members of the Yashiro Commission are permitted to come and go as they please.
Makes sense. Perfect place for a secret base.
In any case, we can talk freely here. Of course. We have tried on numerous occasions. Unfortunately, each time a proposal to repeal the decree arrives at Tenshukaku, it is promptly vetoed by both the Tenryou Commission and the Kanjo Commission, and subsequently scrapped. They invariably adopt a stance of unconditional support for the Shogun's decisions. They have no interest in discussing anything. It almost makes one wonder whether they had a hand in the Shogun's sudden decision to issue the Vision Hunt Decree. The issue is this. For the vast majority of people, the Vision Hunt Decree is something that has no implications whatsoever. After all, it is but a tiny minority of people who receive visions. Moreover, it is not unknown for visions to spark jealousy in others. Because of this, the attitude of most people towards the Vision Hunt Decree is one of indifference.
How can they be like that? Paimon's getting mad.
Nevertheless, in addition to us, there is also the resistance on Watatsumi Island.
Resistance? You mean like an army fighting against the decree?
Yes. Many who have lost or fear losing their visions have rallied together under Sangonomiya on Watatsumi Island to form a resistance group. To say a little more about Sangonomiya, historically, there has always been some conflict between them and the shogunate of Narukami Island due to their different belief systems. But I do wonder whether there may be some other agenda behind their resistance movement, beyond merely fighting the Vision Hunt Decree. The almighty Shogun. I've seen her on but only a few occasions, most of them formal ceremonies. She inspires awe, commands respect, and exudes a sense of absolute authority. But as I recall, there was something else about her that struck me even more deeply. It was her almost complete lack of any emotion. In that sense, she appeared to me to be less of a ruler and more of, well, an executive official, I suppose. Focused exclusively on her single goal of implementing eternity.
Ooh, Paimon has a question though.
Oh? What would you like to know, Paimon?
Have you got a plan yet to fight the Vision Hunt Decree?
To be honest, we do not.
What?
Please, do not forget that challenging the Vision Hunt Decree is tantamount to challenging a deity. Coming to terms with that is already a difficult step to take.
So what are we gonna do?
Well, for the moment, all we can do is try and reduce the harm that is being caused by this decree. For example, by providing vision bearers with safe refuge, or manufacturing counterfeit visions for them as a contingency measure.
You're telling Paimon that there are people out there who can make fake visions?
Don't underestimate the talents of the craftspeople in Hanamizaka. To the naked eye, the problem we are facing right now is that Master Masakatsu, who was providing us with counterfeit visions, has recently been arrested by the Tenryou Commission.
Darn! So they found out about it? Ugh.
Yes. We knew it was not a long-term solution, and that it was only a matter of time before it would be exposed. But we cannot simply abandon Master Masakatsu. Exactly. I feel the same way. By no means do we intend to place the burden of such. When you are ready, go to Hanamizaka and look for a fireworks shop run by the Naganohara family. There,
were more interesting in the past.
Hey, all finished? I've been keeping watch, and I'm happy to report that everything is fine.
Just hand it over. You don't want any trouble with me. If you think your elemental powers are enough to resist the Vision Hunt decree, believe me, you're not the first of your kind we've encountered, and we've seen the same.
Can't you make an exception? I just got this vision. I won't even use it, I promise.
So this is the Vision Hunt decree in action, huh? We can't just sit around and watch. Psst! Hey, wait! Huh? There's someone trying. Come on, this way. What's going on? Can't. Shh! Quiet! Hey, this isn't right, you know! Huh? Hey!
Shh! If you don't keep your voice down, I won't have one much.
All right.
Wise choice.
What should we do now? He's already given up his vision. Doesn't he know what could happen? This is your fault. You.
Many thanks, Miss Yoimiya. If you hadn't swapped me a fake just now, I'm sure I would have lost it.
No worries. You put on quite the convincing performance.
Oh, so that's what's going on here. And if...
Think nothing of it. I could tell from your... Oh, right. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Yoimiya, the current owner of Naganohara Fireworks. It ain't much, but it's honest work. Great to meet ya.
Practically everyone on Hanamizaka knows Yoimiya. She's the queen of the summer festival. Without her and her fireworks, summer on Narukami Island just wouldn't be the same.
Whoa, that's quite the introduction. Paimon.
Stop it. As for thanking me, you'd be better off thanking Master Masakatsu. His handiwork allowed me to keep my own vision. What?
Yes, Master Masakatsu is a good man.
Master Masakatsu?
Huh? Do you guys know him too? You don't say. Then it sounds like the Shirasagi Himegimi has a plan. Awesome! I've been thinking about breaking him out too recently. But if I just march straight in there by myself, I'd probably get Miss Kamisato in a whole heap of trouble. So, what about if I join you instead?
Sure, welcome to the team. Ayaka told us to go look for help at a fireworks shop. She must have meant you.
Seems like I finally got a new job to do. Besides hiding vision bearers in my shop, that is. So, Master Masakatsu is being held at the police station. I've already surveyed the area and found a way in.
Whoa, talk about a reliable source. Seems we've got the right person on our team.
Not bad, huh? Let's go as soon as everyone's ready. Don't worry, Master Masakatsu. We're on our way.
Time to break him out.
Surely it'd be more interesting to the protagonist.
Now that we're inside, this place is a whole lot creepier than Paimon imagined.
Come on, this way. As long as we stay quiet, we've got a good chance. I certainly wouldn't want to end up locked away in here. Let's find. We should split up. I've got a little present to prepare for Master.
You sure? All right then.
Yes. You.
meant for this world.
I should say more.
Adventure time! Let's light it up!
Oh, so sorry.
Teamwork is teamwork! Let's light it up! Let's light it up!
I must withdraw. Freeze. Tell me what you got.
Go in!
Push your luck.
Let's light it up!
What's her freeze? I'll spare you. Push your luck.
Let's light it up! Why did it never miss?
This wall looks a bit odd. Maybe there's some special trick to it. These guys seem a lot tougher than usual. Paimon wonders if that armor over there has anything to do with the source of their strength.
Teamwork is teamwork! Adventure time!
What's that? Oh, so sorry. Cool it. Allow me.
Let's light it up!
Freeze. Cool it. Watch your luck. Freeze. I won't forget this.
Let's light it up! That's gonna hurt in the morning.
Watch us. How dare you?
Let's light it up!
Allow me. It's my house. This will be frozen time. Double back. Cool it. I've been arrested.
How we going?
Doesn't that modern tunnel shape look pretty similar to the grooves on the door over there?
Teach me a lesson.
Adventure time! Teamwork is teamwork!
Double back. Allow me. Show me what you have. Show me what you got.
Don't worry, I got this.
Double back.
Let's light it up! Everybody stand back!
Watch us go.
Light it up!
Freeze. I dare you.
How we going?
Allow me. Frostbite.
Lightning flash!
I need to train harder.
be Master...
Did you really think that little trick of yours could... Locking you up was just the beginning.
Oh no! Those Tenryo Commission brutes are torturing him!
If we don't come up with a way to break him out fast, then... Huh? Yoimiya, when did you get back here?
I can't bear to watch. If anything happens to Master Masakatsu or whole...
Hey, you there! What are you doing?
Ma'am. We were just teaching him a little lesson, that's all.
Huh? Who's that?
That's Kujo Sara, adopted daughter of the Kujo clan of the Tenryo Commission. She's also a general in the Shogun's army. What's she doing here?
Make way, let me have a look at him. I'm sure you're well aware that torture is strictly against military
Yes, ma'am.
If you are unashamed of such disgraceful action, then you are all-
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, this is our chance.
Yoimiya, are you sure?
Who is that? Quick, go and investigate.
Yes, ma'am.
They're coming! Quick, hide!
Sorry. I didn't mean to. Don't worry, I've got us covered.
Huh? Was that an explosion?
It sounded like...
Quick, let's hurry!
The fireworks...
Fireworks aren't just for us. I was particular...
Yoimiya!
Well, fireworks are my craft after all. Every batch has to be spectacular.
Look, the coast is clear! Now's our chance!
Master Masakatsu,
come on!
Yes, leave. Before I let my judgment... He's in serious condition. Be sure he gets But remember, once he's recovered, it won't be long until I bring him right back.
Well...
We're finally...
Yes. Finally.
Master Masakatsu, how do you...
Don't worry. I think I can make it to the infirm.
Thank you. All of you.
Don't worry about us. Just take care of Master Masakatsu. Good thing we were able to rescue him. Right, Kujasara. Do you think she was... It seems as though there are some okay people among the ranks of the Tenryo Commission. Though Paimon would never agree with their actions in the Vision Hunt Decree, of course. How about we go tell Ayaka and the others the good news?
Establishing contact with her. Perhaps we could coax out some information.
Unlikely. Don't forget, Kujo Sara is also carrying out the vision. In her eyes, Master Masakatsu is of no... If our true motives were ever divulged...
True. Though if you act... We are now one step closer to victory. You're turning out to...
Don't!
Indeed. But if we wish to mount any sizable resistance against the Vision Hunt Decree, there is still much. It is time we make ready our next...
There's no need to rush, but things seem to have taken a turn... Yes, which reminds me. The Tenryo Commission seems to be making preparation, and the number of samurai out enforcing the Vision Hunt Decree seems to be waning.
A ceremony, you say? Why would...
I don't know, but I'm sure it has nothing to do with us. Anyway, with the Tenryo Commission busy with preparation...
Being in a constant state of alert will only... Toma, what would you suggest?
I'd say a celebratory feast is in order. Funny enough, I learned a new hot pot game recently. I'm sure you'll find it quite amusing.
A hot pot game? What's that?
Simply put, every person prepares then we take it in turns to close our eyes, pick an ingredient out of the pot, taste it, and guess whose ingredient it was. Anyone who guesses correctly can go again, and whoever Don't you think it sounds like fun? I've been wanting to give it a try. In fact, I've already got my—
You really do want to play. Well, sounds like we've got our work cut out for us. Time to gather some ingredients. Let's see what we've got here. Nice! You can't go wrong with... Paimon never thought we'd be the only ones to actually put anything in. This was possibly the scariest looking hot pot Paimon's ever seen. Fortunately, Toma...
You can say that again. But hey, at least I got the most points. Oh, wait a moment.
I'm afraid it's your own fault for adding all those strange ingredients. Even with a traveler's normal ingredients, I still couldn't guess any of them correctly.
But weren't you the one who added those little cakes, Ayaka? I think the trap boiling cakes in hot pot... Ugh. Think of the texture.
I must apologize. To be perfectly honest, I thought the cakes would be a tasty addition.
Uh-oh. I'm definitely not okay. I've...
You know, Toma, all you had to do was guess wrong on purpose and it would have been someone else's turn. Talk about being competitive.
Guess I've been feeling unlucky. Perhaps I did get a little carried away. Still, I think my luck has already taken a turn for the better. So without further ado, I hereby declare that the winner...
Oh, brother.
Good effort, team.
Yes. If the Tenryo Commission truly is as big, and with the extra time...
Let's all take some much-needed time off. Downtime is hard to come by. I'll tidy things up here and...
There's gonna be a sequel?
Sure, why not?
Bye, Toma! Seems we won't need to be visiting the Komor... Where do we go from here? What's the plan?
Traveler, Paimon! Hold on!
Huh? Ayaka?
Something has come up, but you ought not be nervous. This is not coming from the Yashiro Commission or the Kamisato clan. It is...
Individual request?
Correct. It concerns my mother. This may seem a little sudden, but in my view, a few days ago, I was sorting through some... She wrote about all kinds of things, mostly of little consequence.
Probably your mom's best buddy, right?
Never. And although my mother and father passed away many years ago, both my brother and I are familiar. So, I am very... According to the notebook, their name is Tsubaki. This seems to have been someone very important to my mother.
Paimon thinks it sounds like a girl.
That's what I thought too.
So what do you want us to do? Do you need us to find her for you?
No. Her address is given in the note. Please keep everything I have told you in... The proper course of action would be to involve my brother and visit her together. But he is terribly busy at present and... Exactly. That, and you are also a kind, well-mannered person with a genuine concern for other people. Not to mention trustworthy. I would not feel comfortable with anyone else in this situation.
You can count on us! We've done greeting gifts before, so we should be able to help. In terms of payment, just treat us to some delicious food and we'll be more than happy.
Wonderful! In fact, I was hoping to take this opportunity to show you both around. If you don't mind, of course.
Oh, we don't mind. We don't mind at all. Do we?
Thank you kindly. Shall we head off then? Ogura Textiles and Kimonos is our first stop.